Hey, welcome back. Welcome back. It's a Martin Luther King Jr. Day, Money Monday, and you're watching Liquid Lunch on Newsmax TV. We are here to observe the great day. We got a great show coming at you today for Money Monday. We got all the money guests. Aaron Elmore is going to be here, Joe Pignone, Josh Kravitz. Fantastic walk with Dr. Robbie Ludwig and David Pietruzza, presidential historian, is going to be talking to us about the monumental day. Tomorrow will be the third ever impeachment hearings will begin. The articles have been passed over, and tomorrow it all starts. We're going to get into all of that and more. And of course, Kimberly Guilfoyle is going to join us at the top of hour 2 here at 1 o'clock Eastern. So stay tuned right there, right on your TV. Sit on the couch, pop open a cold one. It's going to be a great Liquid Lunch today. And Frankie, another ISIS killer has been nabbed by the elite forces of the Iraq and combined forces with us, but apparently reported today in the New York Post, the 560-pound Abu Abdul Bari, also known as Shifa al-Nima, was nabbed by an elite SWAT team, and there he is, 500. They say he put the fat in fatwa, and take a look at this guy.
Now, wait a minute. That's not that guy's face.
No. They call him a morbidly obese ISIS fanatic, Jabba the Jihadi, and to me, he looks curiously, oddly similar to Gerald Nadler, who I call Jabba the Hutt. So Jabba the Hutt, Jabba the Jihadi.
Okay, that's pretty funny, actually. I must say.
All right. That wasn't actually him. We got to have a little levity around here once in a while, but they do look about the same. And by the way, they had to put this guy in the back of a flatbed truck to transport him to prison. And from what I hear, that's how they got to get Nadler over to the Senate from the House for the impeachment.
Speaking of Mr. Nadler, Chairman Nadler, one of the House impeachment managers, Gerald Nadler was on a program, I believe it was ABC's This Week, with George Stephanopoulos, and he was asked about attempts by the Republicans to call certain witnesses like Hunter Biden. Mm-hmm. This is what he said.
President, as the evidence shows that he did betray his country by conspiring with a foreign country to try to rig the election. Hunter Biden has nothing to say about that. They're asking for Hunter Biden is just more of a smear of Hunter Biden that the president was trying to get the Ukraine to do.
Thoughts?
I just don't understand if they're asking for witnesses, and this whole thing is supposedly about Donald Trump using the power of his office for political gain to go after Joe Biden and Hunter Biden. If they want witnesses, why are they saying Hunter Biden isn't a witness? Why is that a smear campaign? Hunter Biden is at the center of this whole thing. And by the way, Frank, I don't know if you saw it in Sunday's New York Post. There's a whole article about how Joe Biden's brothers and Joe Biden's son have all been greatly enriched over the course of his entire career. And in every single case, very little subject matter expertise is involved. And even the companies that have hired them have gone out and said, well, it helps to have the vice president's son or the vice president's brother or the senator's brother. So it's strange how all these people around former Vice President Joe Biden have seemingly been grossly enriched by all kinds of deals because of his political largesse.
I think that's a fair point, John, and I think it's worth exploring. I think that's a big part. It's not unique to Joe Biden either. This is pervasive throughout the political system. I think it's a result of largely three things. One, the fact that there's so many private sector companies that stand to benefit from government largesse. Maybe the government shouldn't be, picking winners and losers as they do. Two, an idea that I've brought up from time to time, and I'm not endorsing this idea, but I'm endorsing its consideration, is instead of having elections, let's randomly select our elected officials the same way we do jurors. Juries they decide the most important questions of life and death in the whole country, in the whole world, really, and of financial issues as well. And we don't trust that panel to a bunch of experts. We trust a bunch of laymen that are chosen at random. And if you look at the mess that's in Washington now, ask yourself, if we were to choose 535 random people from off the street, could they be doing worse than the current Congress? I don't think so.
I think.
And I forget what my third point was, but.
Oh, all right. Well,
I don't remember, actually.
I thought you were asking me if we could do better. I think you're right, Frank. I think if we randomly selected 535 people, said head on down to Washington and try to do better than these guys, I think we do a heck of a lot better.
Do you remember Virginia Governor Northam?
Of course.
Yes, and we
one of the only men the left allows to wear blackface.
That's right. We want to thank not only Governor Northam but Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau in honor of Martin Luther King Jr. Day today. Neither one of them is in blackface. That's very rare to have neither of them in blackface. So thank you.
Apparently, they're still allowed to do that. God forbid someone else on the Republican side did that.
Governor Northam has declared a state of emergency in Virginia today. Have you followed this?
Yep. This is what Martha Bonetta was the last time Martha Bonetta was on.
She broke this kind of on our show.
She did. She said they were going to have this gun sanctuary state event.
There is a temporary state of emergency in effect today in Virginia because there's this big gun rally taking place in the capital city of Richmond. And according to the governor, there were all sorts of extremist groups that were going to participate as well, and he doesn't want a repeat of Charlottesville. Now, gun rights activists are planning to protest over a series of bills to tighten gun regulations. But there are some protesters that are out there already, including this gentleman that spoke with the Washington Free Beacon, and he doesn't look like a white supremacist to me. Have a look.
What's your name?
My name's Mark from Northern Virginia.
Okay, where in Northern Virginia?
Northern Virginia.
Okay, all right. How far did you have to travel today?
2 hours.
And so why did you think it was important to drive those 2.5 hours?
One, I love this country. It's about the Second Amendment. It's about our ability to defend ourselves and our loved ones. It's not only a constitutional right issue, but it's also a civil right issue. The governor, who's known for blackface and or possibly having a Klan's hood on, has the audacity on MLK Day to declare executive order that would prevent people from lawfully protesting. This has been a long-standing rally where people have come and they've protested, and then on top of that, to add insult to injury, he wanted to push forth the narrative that white supremacists are stirring up issues. I feel comfortable here, haven't had any issues here. I don't know what the problem is.
Does not look to me like an unruly bunch of hooligans or extremists. Look like, some sane people doing a peaceful protest for the right reason, to keep their guns, like the Second Amendment says. We should have the right to bear arms. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back right after this with Erin Elmore in studio. You're watching Liquid Lunch. Stay right there.